Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Discussing the Resilient podcast and another section of our Infection Critical where we look at some of the best performing Death Guard lists from the competitive tournament scene, looking at GT level and above events, so no little RTT wins here, just sort of the big boys playing around. Now, just a quick caveat, again, if you do enjoy the content of this channel, please feel free to leave a like and a subscribe, and consider becoming a Plague Marine member. You get access to our Discord, you get access to our list review services, all that kind of good stuff. Check that out if you want to, it's pretty cheap, $2.99 a month, and again, we never kick anyone that's joined once, so pretty cool. Now, one thing we'll say for Infection Critical, to stop us repeating the same things over and over, is that Death Guard, in the currently, are doing very well, obviously. We all know this, Death Guard are doing really well. Might be getting shaken up by the Knight meta that is incoming, because Knights are going to be everywhere, especially Imperial. But, that being said, one thing we like to do on Infection Critical is not just provide you with the same list every week. You know, Virulent Vectorium, for example, is a great example of a list that's being figured out at this point, and we've sort of seen like the same results over and over. So we don't want to just basically sit here and repeat ourselves. So we're going to be looking at a couple of different attachments, try and keep it a bit fresh, because there's some of you out there that, you know, we all know how to do LVV and stuff like that. They want to actually see something a bit different, maybe look at some Hammer, some Tallyband summoners, etc. Just bear that in mind when we look at some of these lists. Death Guard is doing super well. There's more lists than I can possibly cover at the moment, so we're just going to pick out 3 that I found super interesting, and we'll go from there. And again, there are other channels that do it. Go check out Dirtbags. Derek actually just went like 6-0 with his Virulent Vectorium with like Mortarion and Demon Prince, quite an elite army. So I'm not going to steal his content. You can go over there and check him out. He's going to have a big write up on all of it. That's awesome. So yeah, let's crack into it. So first up, we've got Nathan Roberts, who came 3rd at the Bristol Super Major, a UKTC Super Major. 424 players, not only making the top cut, but then going undefeated, 7 wins, 0 losses, into 3rd place due to battle points, etc. This is the first time Death Guard has made top cut and gone fully undefeated in a long time in UKTC, and it's really cool to see this sort of bit happening with the new Death Guard book. It really does show the power of it. Now, this is obviously on old UKTC terrain. People who haven't been in the loop, Leeds onwards is trying a complete different terrain pack, so when you see this, bear that in mind. It might not work going forward, but it's still a very strong and powerful list. So he's running Mortarion's Hammer, so this is the vehicle detachment where you can pick 2 units at range, put them into contagion at the start of every battle round. Really good. He's got a lot of virulence as his only character, rocking the Tendrils emissions, so this guy is going to have the lone operative and give out those rerolls of 1 to wound for vehicles that are nearby, giving him lone operative. Solid little enhancement means you don't have to go out and pay or put him in the Death Shroud squads. You obviously still have the flexibility to do that if you want to, but you're not really making the most out of it. Just makes him a nice little fire-based supporter, giving that vehicles reroll 1s to wound against anything he can see, and them also providing him with lone up keeps him nice and safe. Now, we've still got 2 units of Poxwalkers. Turns out infiltrating Poxwalkers, still really good. Sometimes you don't need the infiltrate, you can just leave 1 to hold your home objective, but you can also usually leave a Plague Burst Crawl there. Just having something that can start the board, especially in this vehicle-focused attachment, having just little guys that can hide behind walls, provide screens, move, block, melee. Just a great little tool to have in the list to stop you getting overran by those extremely fast pressure armies like EC. You don't mind stringing out a unit of 10 Poxwalkers to stop them getting a turn 1 charge, even if it comes at the expense of the Poxwalkers, because it at least keeps you from getting tagged on your vehicles. Now, we're also rocking 2 squads of Death Shroud Terminators. They are bare bones squads, these. No lot of contagion here. But again, they do the job that this list needs them to do. If there is an enemy infantry unit dug in a wall and you're indirect struggling to sort of take them out, you can just send in, you know, a Death Shroud squad to just go and clean that up. Not to mention, having Death Shroud in Mortarion's Hammer consistently makes this a pressure on your opponent, because you have the ability to just pick 2 units and afflict them. It's going to make your opponent have to constantly think, oh, well, what if he picks the thing that's on my home objective? Oh, what if he picks the thing that's on the side here? I need to, like, make sure I double screen stuff out so I don't get Death Shroud popping out of nowhere. It's a big mental tax on your opponent's capacity to, like, you know, plan their moves out and plan their turn out, and it actually makes them take a lot more time than you think, which is kind of a weapon in itself. But still, Death Shroud are really good. 140 points, drop in, 6 units charge. Sometimes you're going to need some counter melee. Again, we talk about the Emperor's Children matchup. They crash into your first wall, Poxwalkers, kill that. Now you're worried about them getting into your actual lines. You can rapid ingress heroic in some Death Shroud. You can just come in and charge them first. Just a great all-round useful unit to have in any list at the moment. Now, I've also got a Predator Destructor, just a single one with las cannons. Now, I did speak to Nathan. Nathan said he likes to put this thing in reserves. It comes in, it can shoot its big cannon, its las cannons, or whatever it wants to. And then if you would just need the AP somewhere else, you can fire the Havoc Launcher on the Bolter, or maybe it all wants to go into the same target. But being able to increase the AP of all of our units here, you know, the affected bloat drones going up to AP3 on the Spitters with -1 save, heavy blight launch drones going up to AP4 against infantry with -1 save, the blight halls, etc. All that's really good, and the indirect mortars getting AP2 and -1 save, so -3, really good, because bear in mind, if an opponent's left a model out in the open and the rest are hiding behind a wall, as long as the Predator shoots first and kills a guy, even if they pull him out of line of sight, they're still going to be affected by that, so the mortars that shoot them are still going to have that extra AP, which is really, really good. Then we've got 2 fetid bloat drones with Spitters, so we're still keeping the traditional bloat drones. They're great forward pressure harassing units. They're really good board control with those flamers, threatening Overwatch. You can't tie them up, but they can tie you up with the fallback shoot and charge. Just really good to keep them active in the game. Touch opponents' tanks that you want to stop shooting or moving. Then when they don't kill you, you can fall back, shoot something else, charge back in. Really just a good, useful unit all around, and it's a way for you to project forward pressure in this list. We've also got 3 of the classic heavy blight launcher bloat drones. Don't need to spend too much time on these guys. Pick up target with Mortarion's hammer ability. Have them near the Lord of Virulence for full rerolls to hit and reroll ones to wound, and have fun while you pick that unit up. Super solid, super cheap at the moment. Great little units. Now we've got 3 Solomathetic blight haulers. Again, cheap demon engines is just overwhelming. Here we have literally got 8 cheap demon engines and then 4 more expensive tanks. It is overwhelming for some opponents to try and deal with this. You can put out a blight hauler, sacrificial, knowing if your opponent has to swing at it with like a lancer or something, that you can then swing back onto it with some plague burst crawlers, another hauler, or like some heavy blight launcher drones. And you're always going to trade up in that. 90-point demon engine is always going to get value even when it dies, because it's going to take more than 90 points to kill that thing on average. And as long as you kill it back what killed your hauler, you're going to get value. Really good. Also very self-sufficient. +1 to hit and wound versus vehicles and monsters means their ideal targets they naturally hit on 2s. Again, really nice. You can get the real ones from the Lord of Virulence, so you guarantee a hit basically, but you don't need it. Hitting on 2s is just reliable, and +1 to wound again just helps you get over those rough brackets, those rough break points. But bear in mind, you can afflict things at range in this attachment. So a strength 10, a toughness 10 Lancer at range is now toughness 9, +1 to wound on that multi-metal. Now you wound it on 3s instead of 4s. Really good. And then bringing up the rear, 3 Plague Burst Crawls, all rocking Spitters. So entry cannons sort of put to the side for now. We might see that change in the upcoming Nightmare. You might see some entry cannons swap back into these kind of lists. But for now, there is still a lot of infantry, and like we said, there's a lot of high-pressure armies out there. Blood Angels, Emperor's Children can potentially just run you down. Having the Spitters and the Plague Burst Crawls means they don't just get tagged and stuck there forever. They also can be a really scary Overwatch threat, because the Mortar has lethals, the Machine Gun has lethals, the Flamers have auto-hit, Torrent, so anything that does hit is just going to basically automatically wound. So that's really nice, and it just allows you to use them either just as backline, firing mortars at the things you've marked for damage, or marked for your Lord of Virulence, and then splashing mortal wounds, or you can be more aggressive with them with the Spitters, like in the GSC matchup, where you need to get on top of them quick so you don't lose board space. You can just run them up the board, give one assault, for example, blast it through a wall, spray some guys to death, fire the mortars at someone that's hiding in the backline, that stupid fucking Ridge Runner that's been doing your head in all game. You can kill things like that. So it's really good to just have them be that versatile unit. And again, if we come into a night heavy vehicle meta, swap them out for entropies. Still really good. I honestly thought these guys were overpriced at 195. The more I've played them, the more I actually realised, no, actually, they are probably still overpriced. Like 180 is probably the perfect spot for them. But they still get a lot of work done if you play them right. They still do a lot of work. And those splash models can get silly if you just get a little bit of luck and you're rolling. But it's a really cool list, a really good take on Mortarion's hammer, making the most out of our cheap demon engines, strong indirects from the Plague Burst Crawlers, and still having the points to find those 2 units of Death Shroud to just fit in to have a reactive melee threat, and also get some screening and objective playing Poxwalkers in there. Really cool list. Excellent work to Nathan. Absolutely deserved your result here, mate. Well done. Next up, Ben Hacklander. Tallyband! Tallyband, hell yes. Bedburger, I'm going to try it. Bedburger Shine Knuckle Open? I tried, Ben, I'm sorry. 58 player event, he went 4-1 with Tallyband Summoners, coming in at 6th place. Now, he's rocking 2 Lord of Contagions, 1 rocking the Beckoning Blight. This is the 12-inch aura of allowing demons to deep strike within 6 of enemies. Really, really powerful. Really good to just be like, surprise, here are some demons, which is a really good thing. Lord of Virulence as well here. I mean, obviously Lord of Contagions are beat sticks as well. We've also got a Lord of Virulence in here because he's going to buff those heavy Blight Launch drones that you're going to see in pretty much every competitive list. Then we've got Rotagus, the big fat man himself. He's going to drop 6 inches away from you. He's going to go and punch you. He's going to drop your OC. He's going to drop your movement. Extremely powerful fella. Has damage 2 sweeps. Can have damage 4 bonks. He's toughness 12 with a lot of wounds and feel no pain. Just a great little guy. Typhus is also along for the ride. Drop in solo. Do some actions while shooting mortal wounds at people. Typhus has been good. He was good in Index. He's still good now. He's not taking in every list because, you know, there's some other things that are probably better for points, but that's not because Typhus is bad, it's because other stuff's just too cheap. But Typhus, you see him in quite a few lists. Again, Derek uses him, etc. Ben's using him. Really good include. Nothing wrong with taking Typhus. And again, those mortal wounds can really add up. Then we've got 2 squads of 1. Beast of Nurgle. Scout, heals to full, toughness 9, 7 wounds, 5 have been vulnerable. What an annoying profile to deal with. I got one on my desk right now, I'm painting it for my Tallyband. Just an absolute pain. Also OC, they're OC 3 for some reason, I think, which is really weird. So you can have this guy on a point and like a bloat drone from a mirror match now actually can't take you off the point, which is quite interesting. It will just contest it instead. So if you've got like 2 guys or just anything else on that point, it's going to be really good for that. And it also means they're pretty good at actually denying as well, because yeah, they are OC3. I was double checking that. Because again, you can deep strike him in 6 away, make a charge into something. And again, if it's like a 5-man Marine squad who are 1 OC each, if he kills like 2 of them, he neutralizes the point. And he's not the worst in combat. He's damage 2. You know, he gets the extra contagions from the attachment. Not too bad. Now, the Scout's also really good. Just having access to Scout on that guy, he can move through walls because he's Beast as well. Just means he's going to be able to get to places, those early objectives early. And he's not the easiest thing to kill. Often forces an overcommitment, because if you fail to kill him in the face, he heals to full and you basically did nothing. Also pretty much makes him immune to someone just trying to come along and just chuck grenades at him to try and kill him off. Because if you don't follow up with shooting, he's going to heal to full. Same with Tank Shock. They're basically immune to Tank Shock because the max you can do in Tank Shock is 6 wounds, which is in the charge phase. They have 7 wounds, so you can't kill them. At the end of the charge phase, they heal to full. Fun. Then we've got 1 fetid bloat drone with a mower. Again, forward piece, just trying to be aggressive with that thing, sort of spread contagion, get it where you want to get it. It allows you to then get the Death Shroud, which you've got 2 squads, which are going to be with those Lord of Contagions, I imagine, into the places they want to be. You get a 6-inch deep strike off with Lord of Contagion with Beckoning Blight. Boom, follow it with a 6-inch deep strike off a Rotagus within 12 of him. It's a lot of pressure that has appeared out of nowhere. Interesting thing about Tallyband, it's very hard to predict Tallyband play because it can appear with so much stuff 6 inches away. As long as the Beckoning Blight is on a deep strike character, wherever that deep strike appears is where most of the army is then going to appear. So it's really hard for our opponent to counter deploy because they don't know where you're going to commit your forces to yet until that big drop happens. So one cool thing about Tallyband, that is that little bit of information advantage you have over the opponent. But yeah, again, Lord of Contagion, Death Shroud Terminators, don't need to get into it really. Smashes, hits real hard, drops in a Rotagus near them as well, or Plague Bearers, see what steal objectives. Just great unit. We've got 3 squads of 1 Fake Blight Haulers. These guys, again, we talked about it, super self-sufficient, don't need buffs. They just run around, they hit vehicles and monsters on 2s, they get +1 to wound them, they're 90 points, doesn't really care if it dies, they can do actions, because again they're cheap, and they hide, because they're only dinky, they're like tall like bloat drones, they can hide real easy in ruins. Just again, a great sufficient unit. Like 3 of these guys, like I've got 2 in every list that I'm making at the moment because they're just really good. I think like the heavy Blight Launch drone gets all the focus, but the Blight Hauls are really good, and a lot of people are catching on to that as well, which is good to see. Now we've also then got 2 squads of 6 Nurglings. Technically this can be 3 squads because we can pay a command point to resurrect one. Infiltrate. They now have a 5 been vulnerable. Super annoying to deal with. Like again, it's 6 bases of 4 wounds each with a 5 up invulnerable and -1 to hit in close combat. What a pain in the ass to chew for. If they get a bit lucky on those 5-ups on the high damage weapons, it's going to take you more than you think to clear these squads out. And then he pays 1 command point and respawns one of them again. You can move block with these guys, you can just deny infiltrating space or scouting from your opponent, just be an absolute pain, and they're also good for triggering the real all hits for your Death Shroud Terminators in close combat if they're in the combat with it. And then we've got 2 squads of 10 Plague Bearers. Also, with the Nurglings, great thing is you can use them to like move block early, and then when they die, you can then like resurrect them on home to like scream out your objective, like just so no one else can get on it if you've only like a Tallyband holding it or something. Obviously not the case here, but just fun, food for thought. And then we've got 2 squad 10 Plague Bearers. Plague Bearers are, again, underrated. If you come in from a 6-inch deep strike from Beckoning Blight, you have a 5-inch charge because your icon gives you +1 to charge. Instrument. Really good. OC2 every single guy. You know, Rotagus can give them damage 2 on the sword. They can get contagion, so now they can be -1 to hit or +1 AP. So now they're AP2, flat 2 damage because Rotagus and contagion. And again, you don't even need them to kill. You can just deep strike 6, lip an opposite side of an objective, or just make a 5-inch charge. They've got 20 OC in that squad. As long as even 4 guys survive, you're more than likely going to out-OC most things in the game on that objective. So just a really good utility unit. They also bring sticky objectives, which is a fantastic rule to have. You can rapid ingress them somewhere your opponent wasn't looking onto an objective. Now you sticky it, now you move off and do other things. You can even start a squad on the board, just sticky your home objective, and then you can use the Nurglings to hold home because they just become a screen because it's sticky because the Plague Bearers took it. Really, really great, versatile unit. They're not super expensive. I like 2 squads of Plague Bearers in my Tallyband list as well. Super cool to see Tallyband getting a 4-1. Unfortunately, 5-0, but Ben, keep at it, mate. I know you can do it. And I want to see you get a 5-0 with this Tallyband, because Tallyband is a super fun detachment, and I think it's been underrated by a lot of people out there. Now, quick note, this list will be up 20 points because Nurglings went up in the latest data slate, which was after this event. So he probably will have to find some space there, but I imagine he'll manage to make that work. It's not the hardest thing to find 20 points. You could even just go 1 squad of 6 Nurglings, 1 squad of 3. Again, he'll find a way around it, so don't worry too much. But I just want to point that out in case someone puts it into the app and then starts typing out, hey, doing this list is 10 points. Yes, data slates happen. I'm sorry. I record before things. I make presentations before things, and then it changes. But well done, Ben. Well done, mate. I'm bringing up the rear today, not by no means least though. Nikhil Talwar going 4 wins and 1 loss. Hope I pronounced your name right. Again, I'm sorry if I didn't. The 40k Grand Tournament, 62 players, 5th place. I believe this was the event at Warhammer World, the sort of like golden ticket qualifier. And he's rocking. We got to cover at least one. Your standard virulent vectorium list. The average Joe, not even the average Joe, the super solid, you know, it's chicken and rice, salt and pepper and chicken, it's lovely, everyone likes it, bit bland at times, but my god does it bring home the results, and is it a favourite of the people? It's your pizza. So, it's, not to say it's bland though, it's a fun detachment. I do like VV, it is the best for me, it fits my toolbox playstyle really well, but it is sort of like the standard now these days. So we've got a Biologist Putrefied and a Foul Blight Spawn and a Malignant Playcaster here. So we do have the option to get the fights first when we need it if we're in a melee matchup. But more than likely you're going to be rocking the Biologist Putrefied and the Malignant Playcaster in the Plague Marine squad to get the 5-up lethal sustained against targets in Affliction for both shooting and melee. Virulent Vectorium, you have 1 command point reroll all hits and wounds in shooting. So now all your 5-up lethal sustained crits, re-rolling all hit rolls so you fish for more, and then you're re-rolling all your wound rolls anyway. Super reliable, super scary damage output from that unit. We've got the classic Demon Prince with the Revolt and Regeneration. Again, 12-inch lone up, toughest lone up in the game, toughness 12, 2-up save, 4-up invulnerable, and then the 5-up feel no pain coming in from the Revolting Regeneration. Fantastic unit, sits on the middle and forces your opponent to do something. Double Order Contagion, again, we've seen these Double Order Contagions popping up a lot. Both leading a squad of 3 Death Shard Terminators. Now, no enhancements here on these Order Contagions, which is quite interesting. The enhancements in Virulent Vectorium are very good for damage output. But, again, a Order Contagion and 3 Death Shard minces most things anyway, so you don't need them, they're just nice to have. So, again, boys before toys, as we always say. But having just 2 squads of extremely scary, lethal Death Shard Terminators is going to just make every game just have so much pressure on your opponent to look out for those 6-inch deep strikes, because if they get into anything remotely valuable, they're going to kill it, and then it's hard to get value back, because even if you go in and kill it, the Lord stands back up on a 2-up and he'll probably go and twat something else and kill that. So, great unit, Lord Contagion. Lord Contagion 3 Death Shard is like a staple. It's just in every detachment, it's so good. Now we've got a squad of Chaos Spawn. Love the Spawn. Spawn is such a great mission play. Mission, early pressure, early just attack, kill scouts, bounce some mortal wounds, go and do an action. They're annoying to kill. Toughness 7, 4-up save, 5-up feel no pain, 4 wounds each. It's so annoying to kill, and if you kill in melee, you take a grenade back pretty much, so great little unit. I always try and fit one in my list if I can. Sometimes it's hard, but I've never regretted bringing a unit of Chaos Spawn. 3 squads of 10 Poxwalkers, so we're trying to make the most out of that infiltrating sticky, plus someone's got to sit on home objective. You can get maybe 2, but 3 here is the magic number for Nikhil, and it's working for him clearly, so nothing wrong with that. Again, we talked about why they're great. Early infiltrate, get up there, create early screens, and again, especially if you get first turn and you've stretched them across 2 objectives, now you can sticky both of those, then you move and advance them forwards, create a giant wall, say hello to 15 free primary on turn 1. Really, really good. 2 Predator Destructors here, so going away from the more traditional triple heavy bloat drone, we've got 2 Predator Destructors here. You've still got 2 heavy bloat drones, don't get me wrong, but without the Lord of Virulence, they become a little less reliable, but the Predator Destructors are still extremely reliable. Being able to increase the AP against anything that's not a monster or a vehicle makes those Lord of Contagion Flamers now AP2 if you took -1 save, just makes them come down, shred a unit with shooting. You've also got a squad of 5 and 10 Plague Marines here as well, who are going to make nice use out of that with all of their guns and shooting. I like the squad of 5 Plague Marines here as well. Again, once you've got the 10 Plague Marines out of the Rhino, you can put the 5 in, or vice versa. But just having that extra OC10 squad can really help just flip objectives. Obviously, we've got a Rhino to carry it all around. But yeah, back to the Predator Destructor. Again, just super versatile unit. It's just a good, solid tank. It doesn't set the world on fire, but having them in pairs means that you can use them together to kill an infantry unit. The first one shoots, applies the debuff. The second one then makes use of the debuff for the buff for the extra AP. So having them in pairs is good. You can always put one in reserves, which is quite a common thing you'll see. But again, even just starting on the board, the long range firepower just sits at the back, holds long angles, allows the rest of your squad to fight in the midfield, whilst these guys contribute a bit from a bit of a safer position. And if an opponent's got the 10 Plague Marines, the 2 Death Shroud squads in the face, you can get more aggressive with your Predator positioning, because chances are they're not going to be focused on trying to kill your Predators when those Death Shroud are in your opponent's face and causing chaos. That's going to be the priority, so you can take more aggressive angles and positions and not have to worry about losing them. And again, if they do shoot them and you lose a Predator, but it keeps your Death Shroud from being shot, like, who cares? Because the Death Shroud are going to do way more damage than the Predator would have ever done. So again, win-win situations there. And of course, 2 heavy blight launcher drones, just super cheap, solid, tiny bases, flies around, get shots off. Virulent Vectorium lets you reroll the shots if you want to. Again, they can work with the Predator Destructors to get up to AP4 versus infantry with -1 save. Kind of ridiculous at that point. I don't need to spend too much time on the heavy blight drones though. But yeah, again, a really solid all-rounder toolbox list. You've got a bit of long-range firepower with the Predators and the heavy blight launch drones. You've got mission play with the 3 squads of Poxwalkers and the Chaos Spawn and a 5-man Plague Marines. You've got some really heavy hitting hammers with the 10-man Plague Marine squad with all the characters' bells and whistles. And you've got the 2 Death Shroud hammers blows as well with the Lord of Contagions. Now, also got the Demon Prince in there, again, giving out us 3 stratagem reductions. Really, really good. Opponent has to deal with it, which means then you can punish. It's just a lot of good stuff. And again, the 5 Plague Marines can even take all melee weapons and then go with a Foul Blight Spawn, and that can sit on a natural objective and just be like, hey, you want to come and try and take me off this? You've either got to out-OC me or charge me, and then I'll fight first and probably take out a bunch of you, and then I'll probably survive the clapbacks on -1 damage it, for example. Just a super solid all-round list. Like, if you are getting into Death Guard, you get into competitive scene, you want a list that can just take on the world, take on everything, has no defined weaknesses, has no like absurd strengths into every list, just is really solid, going to perform every single time. Nikhil's got a fantastic example on the screen right here. But yeah, that brings us to the end of today's video. Hope you guys enjoy it. We like doing Infection Critical. Again, just a quick 3 cool lists that are doing well in the competitive scene for you to go and take ideas from. I'll try and get another one up probably next week. We won't wait 2 weeks like we usually do, because obviously data slates change, night meta's incoming, so we want to kind of make sure we keep on top of that and see what's happening in the world of Death Guard list. So keep your eyes open for that. I've also got a top 5 like auto-include units, that video that I'm making, just so it's a video to basically just be like, these are the units that are going to appear in pretty much every Death Guard competitive list and what makes them good and what detachments make them even better. So look out for that coming out as well. But thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you to our Death Shroud members who are on the screen right now. You guys are absolute legends. Again, if you've become a Death Shroud and your name's not on there, there's a good chance I recorded it prior to you becoming a Death Shroud. You'll be there the next one, don't worry. But these guys, honestly, them and our normal members all keep the lights on. We massively, massively, massively appreciate the support. Check out our friends at Vanguard Tactics. If you want to buy some stuff, check out our affiliate link at Element Games. Links in the description below. And Saltire Games, if you want some gaming aids that are disgustingly resilient podcast themed. We also have Dice on Baron of Dice, which is called Disgustingly Resilient Dice. You can go check them out as well. And again, the best thing you can do for us is just leave a like, and if you're not subscribed, consider it, and maybe consider becoming a member. We would really, really appreciate the support. And again, you get access to the Discord and all of that good stuff. But for now, everyone, thank you. Regardless, the viewer, the watcher, the one who tuned in, sat here and listened to me ramble on about Death Guard lists. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I will catch you all on the next episode. Take care for now. Stay rotten. Bye-bye.